Okay. This is Big Hungry Road. If you continue on this road just about half a mile or less, you're in Polk County. All right? But you can't get any further into Polk County because you can't cross Green River. So you're going to have to turn around and go back through Henderson County and go back down the interstate and go back into Polk County. So this section of Polk County is patrolled by Henderson County in a deal they got. The kids go to school in Henderson County. Same true down at Oleta. The same is true down in Deep Gap. The same is true down toward Golden Hill, Step Mill Road. Anytime you go back into those areas and take those roads, also the backside of Sugarloaf out in Edneyville, if you go down those roads, you're going into Polk County, but you can't get further into Polk County. So you have to turn around and come back through Henderson. I wanted to, this section of Big Hungry was where the Decatur post office was. So this is Decatur, and right there it was. And this was the log cabin that you saw in Flat Rock, that is the Hiram King Jones log cabin that's in Terry Ruskin's book and that we went to see when we did the Flat Rock tour. This is where it was. So Hiram King Jones was the son of Robert Jones, and he had 12 kids, I think it was, legitimately, and 3 more not so legitimately. And he owned all the land in what is today Polk County, the Big Hungry section of Polk. All his land, all the way down to the bridge that you just crossed, and all the way up the other side. So he gives his 12 kids each get land. When I pointed out the window to the left as we were coming up, that's where my grandfather's house was. My great-grandfather, Bob and I's great-grandfather's house was. So George Washington Jones got that section on that side. And he continued to operate the lumber mill. So we're gonna, can we turn around further up here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're gonna drive further up here in a minute, turn around. We can stop back by the bridge, and that's where the number 2 dam is. And if you wanna go up there, we can talk about that dam and the sawmill and the power company. But Duke Power came in here and bought all the land. See, the lumber people put the lumber mill out of business. Vanderbilt did, and those guys, because they undercut them, so there was no profit left in it. It's like Walmart moving in. So they couldn't make any money. And so they ended up selling out, you know, to the power companies who put in the dam and so forth. And then later on, Duke Power gave almost all this land to the North Carolina Game Lands. There was one daughter that married Wiley Bishop that refused to sell. She's on the Polk County side up there, her descendants. So those are the Bishops. The Little Hungry Creek begins near World's Edge in Edneyville, near Sugarloaf. That was the Autonoa post office and community in Edneyville, east of the Blue Ridge. Then it runs up near James Jackson's place, close to Point Lookout in Edneyville, and that was called the Horace post office. Then it runs southwest to Sackanon, where we were at Step Mill Road. And later on, Oleta had closed behind Refuge. Now, if you continue into Polk County from there, you're in Brights Creek. And they had a post office in the Polk County community. If you could cross Green River, you're in Brights Creek. And they had a post office down there called Walker. And in what's the year? 1908, Step had a little post office further down near way back where we were earlier, called Step. And when that closed in 1908, and Walker decided they wanted to come up and use that building, so Walker actually moved from Polk County to Henderson County. The post office still was the name Walker, and it was there to 1914. Then Baxter was somewhere down behind Deep Gap Road, off Deep Gap Road, King Road area somewhere was a Baxter post office. And then we'll talk about Upper later, but then you come up here to Decatur. So these roads went that way. You follow what I'm saying? You got to put aside all your concept of roads today. They were traveling from Laurel's Edge, Sugarloaf, Rutherford, back and forth, across Green River, into Polk and Henderson, along this side of the ridge. Didn't have these roads, you didn't have interstates and all that stuff. Here's the thing we can do. The Hiram King Jones cabin, Bob has offered, he's got a few minutes to take you down to show you a little bit of this trail if you would like to do it. If you want to do that, you're more than welcome. Who wants to do that? I didn't have it on the tour.
It's it's just right. You see the clearing, the game clearing over there. The cabin was right over there, and we can walk down. The clearing actually comes right down to the foot of this little roadway here. And if you want to, you can just walk down there, and we can look back that way. But their spring was right down in the bottom of this ravine, and it's still there and still got water and the laid up rock and all of that is still there. Nice big boxwood.
This is the cabin that his daughter, Hiram King Jones's daughter Emily Jones, married Daniel Morrison, and that was the Morrison cabin. So in Fitzsimmons he calls it the Morrison cabin. But it was really the Hiram King Jones cabin that his daughter Emily got, and she married Daniel Morrison. That's where the Decatur post office was. And they had, what, 12 or 13 kids. Actually, Emily Jones Morrison, didn't she live to 1954? But Upward Community Club moved the log cabin out of here, put it up as a place to sell crafts and all, and then it got bought and moved over to Flat Rock on that private property. Some people from out of state bought it, moved it over there. So this is where it was, and it's the same cabin that Fitzsimmons refers to as the Morrison cabin.
These people going by here, where are they going?
Yeah, this is game lands, fishing.
There's still some more houses.
And there's
right
a
here.
And then once you get into Polk, Herb
English
Justice, who
heifer.
used to be a veterinarian, he bought a whole bunch of that land back over on the Polk County. He's got a development over there.
But there's lots of land to hide back in there.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember. Is this how you get down to the Narrows? Can you get off to the Narrows?
Well, you can get to there several ways.
I think there's a trail. I think we used to hike a trail off this road.
It's further down.
Is it
Yeah,
further
it's
down?
Further down this road.
It's that. Yes,
Yeah,
that's
you
right.
follow this road.
That's
When the
right.
pavement ends, can you keep going?
Is it?
I mean, is it dirt road?
All this used to be
Pulling
dirt.
Creek.
I know.
I don't know how
It
far
changes
it's
over to, there's a cul-de-sac, and then you have to go across, you drive through a creek, and it's a dirt road, and there's no turnaround up there on the other side.
That's
It's
where the
just
homes are?
Yeah, that's like Scarlet Mountain Road, Scarlet something
Yeah, we
road.
went down there one time.
Beautiful
Where-
view.
where
We
the
drove up
road
there once.
ends,
When
yeah.
I'm going industrious is what you like down
So, do you want to stop down at the I'd be afraid to say.
We're going to go up here, turn around. That's the Big Hungry River. That's not a creek. So we're going to go up here and turn around, go back down and stop down at the Big Hungry. And it's a very short little walk up to the number 2 power dam, which is still standing. I suggest you get your photos because the kayakers want it torn down, and it will be torn down by the game lands.
It's easy to switch the one further down.